Hi, I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to the Let's Keep Moving with Risha podcast. This is Risha. I'm a motivational speaker, content creator, and I love talking about things that will help you keep moving in your life, especially in areas like your mental health, love, growth, and everything in between. So if you're ready, let's keep moving. Most of my listeners, most of you guys are in their 20s, early 20s and late 20s. So, nandun kayo sa mga range na ganon. And a lot of people are also asking me, what are my thoughts about money? So, today, from the title itself, I wanna educate you and help you navigate your money in your 20s, but with a psychology perspective, with that touch, with that mental health touch. And really, as you navigate your 20s, it's so crucial that you also understand and become mindful of how you manage your money in your 20s. And it's not that it should be all that you have to think about. Akala kasi natin kapag pinag-uusapan yung pera, pera-pera na lang. Like, ito na lang yon. But more than ever, money is what makes the world go around. Aside from happiness, aside from kindness, aside from all the other stuff. Money is always part of it. Madami ding nagsasabi na dadating din yan at some point. Pag meron ka na niyan, hayaan mo, dun mo yan pag-isipan. Pero most often than not, ang nangyayari is kapag nandiyan na yung pera, kapag kailangan na ng pera, doon marirealize na hindi alam yung gagawin doon. We'll start this episode with a little story about my life and how it could inspire you also somehow. So to tell you a little bit about my life, while I was growing up, my family supported me financially. So I had a very, very comfortable life. And as a result, I grew up believing that money is hard to earn. Na mahirap kumita ng pera, na ang pera ay hindi nililimot sa barko. Kasi palaging yan yung sinasabi ng parents ko sa akin. I also believe that the only way I could build a house, that the only way that I could buy whatever I want is if I go abroad. And syempre kapag bata ka and you're surrounded with these people, sila yung mga nakakasama mo, syempre na-adapt mo yung mindset nila, yung way of living nila. And if hindi ka aware sa nangyayari sa buhay mo, if you're not that self-aware, you will also do the same thing. And you will repeat the same pattern. Growing up, especially recently, nung na-discover ko na ang content creation, how to make money online, and how it's so possible, especially with the resources that I have, there's this battle in my head saying na hindi, ito yung right way kasi ito yung alam ng family mo, kasi ito yung may evidence talaga. And if you're going to pursue all these creative side, hustle, then it would be harder. And true enough, while I was in high school, I was a consistent honor student. Kasi sabi ng parents ko, the only way for me to be successful in the future is if I become smart or I become an honor student. I had this idea in my head na I would think about money later. Right now, I'll focus on school. I'll focus on memorizing this, on excelling on my studies, and having high scores on my exam. I thought that if I would focus on my grades, then the money would take care of itself. Pero hindi pala. That's why when I got into college, I chose a career based on practicality. So, I chose a career na considered by society na mataas daw ang sweldo in the future, not knowing na hindi pala aligned doon yung skills ko and yung passion ko and yung wants ko. I chose a career really based on practicality. And I believe that it was a stable and more reliable option then. But as time went on, of course, I began to feel a call for passion and purpose, which is the reason why we have all these stuff about content, about podcasting, about speaking, about mental health. So I made the decision to shift careers talaga and choose a different program, which is psychology. And yeah, I was lucky enough to secure a job after shifting. and work with people who believed in my abilities, and they gave me a lot of assurance talaga and resources to be smart about money, and that you don't have to go abroad to be rich. You don't have to, well, it's a smart way, of course, but it's not the only way for you to be rich, for you to be wealthy. I am very fortunate to be able to meet a lot of people who are abundant and who have a positive attitude towards money. And I now realize that money doesn't have to be a source of stress or fear forever. Now I'm so grateful that I was able to find a job that aligns with my passions, and I'm so grateful to be paid doing what I love. Isa nga sa mantra ko this 2024, I get paid for being me. I get paid for being myself. Last last week, I think I had the honor of facilitating a webinar about money trauma. And that exactly is what we're going to talk about today. So, how do you heal your money traumas in your 20s? Kasi sometimes, and most of the time pala, yung mga decisions natin around money, if hindi natin alam talaga, it is really caused by our childhood, by how we grew up, and it's sad kapag late mo na siya na-realize. So today, I'll be sharing you exactly what we talked about in the webinar. And hopefully, if hindi kayo naka-attend doon, this is your time to dig deeper and to understand how do you actually heal your money traumas. Actually, nung talk, I was really surprised na in the little things talaga. In the little things. Kasi nung nag-talk kami, nung webinar na yon, a lot of people shared their traumas, their experiences. And nung time na lang din nila na-realize na, okay, ito pala yung nag-hold back sa akin when it comes to money. Ako, I personally experienced a lot of things. And if you're curious how I was able to get past it and how I was able to heal it somehow, then without further ado, let's keep moving. Let's get straight to the first one, identify and realize. Palagi ko na itong sinasabi from my previous episodes, you cannot solve something that you cannot make sense of. It's impossible for you to solve something you don't know what exactly the problem is. So, it might be painful, but it's time for you to face and confront your past. Alam ko hindi siya good for mental health. Alam ko it's time to move on, but we cannot really change something we cannot make sense of. You have to recall both happy and unhappy memories from your childhood about money. It's very important that you write it down kung kinakailangan para hindi mo malimutan, para it could be a source of inspiration and motivation then for you on your end. And kapag ginawa mo na tong work na to heal your money traumas, then ang sarap siguro tingnan na okay, I'm not this person anymore. My inner child has been healed already. What I can recommend is try recalling both happy and unhappy memories from your childhood about money. Yun talaga. And as for me, if there's this story I can share with everybody, siguro yung money trauma ko na tumatak talaga sa akin, na nakapagpa-realize sa akin na ay, ang hirap pala kumita ng pera. Ay, ang hirap pala kapag may pera ka. Ay, wala kaming pera. Ay, mahirap ang buhay. Is this time back in, I think I was like grade 5 maybe. Favorite ko kasi na nagsha-shopping kami. And syempre kapag nagsha-shopping at that time, yung mga necessities lang talaga yung nabibili. And ang shopping, nagagawa lang kapag magpapasko, magba-birthday. Kaya sabi ko, I've come so far in all aspects, and this generation have come so far in all aspects. Kasi bakit? We can buy clothes even if it's not our birthdays. We can buy or go to Jollibee's even if it's not a special day or a special occasion. We can go to SM even if it's not a special day or there's nothing to be celebrated about. Kasi before, it was so hard to go to the city. It's a dream of everyone to go to the city and go shopping and go to SM. So, sabi ko, our generation has really come so far. There was this one time nga back when it was, I think my birthday. And ang gustong-gusto ko talaga back then was the toy na para siyang ATM machine na toy. And pangarap ko talaga yun. So, that time, siguro ang price niya was around siguro 500 or less than that, or maybe 700 to 1,000, I don't know. And at that time, yung 500 to 700 mo, parang ang dami ng bigas na mabibili nun. Like, good for a month na. So, it was not a priority. So, nung nakita ko na naman yung ATM machine toy na yon, kailangan ko pang bumalik sa sasakyan para sabihin sa mama ko na I want to buy it. But ended up thinking na, ay, wag na lang kasi mas may importante pa kaming pwedeng bilhin with that. That story of mine was only one of the many money traumas or childhood memories about money that I can remember. Napakadami pa yan. And baka kulang yung 30 minutes natin today to discuss all of those. For sure, you on your end, meron din. And I can remember all of the people who shared during the webinar, like super dami. It's time for us to get straight to the point, to face it head on. If we really want to solve the trauma, if we really wanted to solve money traumas, it's time we get honest about it. Another thing that you can also consider, apart from facing and confronting the past, is you can also identify your current financial situation or familial situation. You can also clarify your family's money history. Siguro mga 2 to 3 generations ago, kamusta sila? Paano sila gumagastos? Paano yung habit nila when it comes to money? Paano yung way of living nila? Para lang malaman mo kung saan nanggagaling yung habit mo, yung attitude mo towards money. We're so afraid of discussing the problem, but it is only by discussing that we can actually solve the problem. Siguro naisip na natin before na, money is bad, money disappears fast, ang bilis mawala ng pera, money hurts people, money is scary, money creates trouble, money is the root causes of all evil, money invites jealousy. But when you start to identify, when you start to realize what the real cause of your trauma or your money problem is, it can eventually turn to money supports people. Kasi 'di ba, it is money that supports people, especially those who are less fortunate. Money helps people. Money is easy to create and it's fun to create more money. Money makes people happy. 'Di ba? Kasi imagine every Christmas when you give people like even 20 pesos and even 5 pesos, they celebrate, 'di ba? Ang saya-saya na ng tao pag binigyan mo na yan ng 20. So money makes people happy. And aside from that, money helps people realize their dreams. And when it comes to dreams, I'm all for it. Money brings communities together. It is through money, it is through buying tickets, flights, diba? That brings families together again. Money warms people's hearts. And when you realize the other end of the spectrum, instead of thinking the negative side of money, then that's when we eventually realize na okay, it's not so bad to talk about money. It's not so bad to think about it as early as now. Kasi iisipin din natin yan when we are in our late 20s eh. Why not now? Why not be stressed with money right now? To heal yourself, to talk about it, to be comfortable with it. Kesa naman in the future pa. Kesa naman kung kailan you're old na, diba? So, it's time we start talking about it even as early as now. When you have already identified and realized the causes of all these money traumas, the next step for you is forgive and accept. At some point ako, sinisi ko din yung parents ko at madami na akong na-hear na stories from others na kasi yung parents ko kasi hindi din naman sila mayaman. Kasi yung parents ko nakaasa sa akin. Kasi yung parents ko ganito. Kasi last card na ako ng family ko. It's time we get at peace with it. What I mean is, accept that it wasn't all your fault and it wasn't your family's fault neither. It's just about accepting that Healing comes from understanding and forgiveness. You know, if your parents were raised in a gifted family, wealthy family, do you think you would have money traumas? Di ba wala naman? But you have to accept that it could be the same situation for you, for your future kids. Kaya right now, heal it. Like, heal it para your future kids won't have to suffer the same experience you did experience with your parents. And if nothing against our parents, okay. It's just that they did what they could. Again, they did what they could. They did their best. Baka yun na talaga yung best na kaya ng parents mo for you. Baka yun na talaga yung best nila at that time. Kasi we also have to understand na we lived in a very different generation. Sila at that time, walang electricities, walang water or consistent sources of water or food. It was hard during their time. Kaya what I'm telling you, and I hope you're getting convinced, forgive your parents na, for they do not know any better at that time. For that is their status at that time. But you can choose to forget and accept. And you can use appreciation. 'Di ba? And that's, for me, is the last step. Move forward through appreciating things and through all the other steps that I will discuss later. So, if you're currently finding value in this podcast episode, I truly appreciate it, my friend, if you can give this episode a 5-star rating or give this podcast a 5-star rating, because in that way, we're reaching more and more people to come and join us in this community. And it can also help me reach more people and continue delivering meaningful content. So, yeah, going back, I think after forgiving and accepting, it's time that you move forward in a sense that you need to create a positive energy for continuous money flow. It's time that you donate money. It's time that you give money to your loved ones and send them gifts. It's time that you give something extra. It's time that you pay more than you are asked. It's time that you stop and feel the joy when you receive money. It's time that you pray for happiness when you give money and spend money. It's time to buy from people and businesses you like. It's time to be grateful for everything. I mean, what if we reverse engineer things, 'di ba? If you can see all of the people that you see on Instagram or on social media, they seem like they have a lot of money. What we can do on our end is to reverse engineer things. Ibig sabihin, baka yun ang mga kailangan nating gawin to have more money. Baka we can start donating first before we receive money or before we accept a lot of money. Baka we have to start giving more before we receive. Kasi akala natin kapag nagbibigay tayo, nawawalan tayo. A higher being knows who is the right person to reward. 'Di ba? So, baka this is your sign to donate money. Na for the first time, baka kahit 200, 500, 700, or 1,000 per month, you can choose a charity or some organization na you feel connected with. Yung church sa inyong malapit, you can give something every month as a sign or as a symbol of your appreciation sa kinikita mong pera. Kasi believe me, lahat ng kilala kong mayaman, lahat ng kilala ko na nagta-thrive financially, they are givers. And sobra silang mag-thank you. Yun po ang secret. Like, super sila mag-thank you. Baka it's time for you to say thank you even on the little things. And, like, see the money flowing. Aside from what I've mentioned, you can also start practicing stuff like do not save money out of fear and anxiety. Madalas nagsisave tayo kasi for emergencies, for unexpected happenings, but let's just save because we're happy. Let's save out of happiness and gratitude, knowing na you're paying yourself first. Here's the thing. Likeable people attract money naturally. Like, really, likeable people, they attract money naturally. And once you open yourself up to people, once you greet them, once you radiate this kind of positive energy, Ewan ko, pero magugulat ka na lang ang dami mo ng pera. Like, magugulat ka na lang na saan nanggagaling tong mga pera ko? Saan nanggagaling tong mga opportunities na to? I mean not actually magkakaroon ng madaming pera on your doorstep. But no, I mean opportunities. And opportunities to pay yourself more, opportunities to pay your bills happily, and opportunities to make more money and be able to be paid for being you. You will be surprised talaga na if you are radiating this kind of positive energy, if mataas yung energy mo all the time, money will follow. It will soon follow. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga taong may pera, yung mga taong financially stable, most of them are the happiest because they have happy money. Kasi 'di ba, it's money alone is not fun, but happy money is fun. Yun lang naman. That's for me. And the secret is that worked for me. When I started making my energy high, when I started being grateful for every little opportunity, when I started being likable one, when I started showing a positive energy to the world, money just flows. Opportunity just enters my door. And I'm not even doing anything. It's the same thing that could happen to you. One thing that could also be helpful before we end this episode is try to convince yourself that you are worthy of that 6-figure or 7-figure or 8-figure. Manifest by actually saying to yourself that you are open to receiving abundance in your life in all forms, that you are worthy of financial success, and money flows easily and effortlessly to me, to you. I am grateful for the financial abundance in my life. I attract wealth and abundance in my life. I am aligned with my financial success. I am grateful for the abundance that surrounds me. And my lifetime favorite, I get paid for being me. Like, I really get paid for being me. Now, if you are 21 years old and above, I have a very exciting announcement for you, especially if you are already working. Allow me to help you. I'll be holding 20 one-on-one free financial planning with me for free. So if you're willing to learn, fix your finances, change your narratives about money, and discuss all things money, then go to the link down in the description or show notes so you can get your slots because it's just limited to 20 people. Tapos, answer nyo lang yung mga details doon and I will reach out to you for you to schedule a call with me. Make sure you submit the form and I will reach out to you as soon as possible. So that's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking with me. You know, like what I've been telling, you could have been somewhere else. You could have been listening to all the other podcasts out there, but you chose this one. So thank you so much for your time. I really, really honor you. And of course, I hope you got some insights from today's episode because like always, I'd love to know your thoughts. My question for this episode is, what's your biggest limiting beliefs about money? So, ano ba yung mga limiting or negative beliefs nyo about money? For the poll section, have you always been afraid to talk about your finances? Like, I'm curious. How many of you guys are afraid to talk about your finances? You can also share your favorite takeaways on social media. And please don't forget to tag me at Risha Marceliana because your feedback and thoughts are invaluable to me. And I can't wait to hear them all and see them all para ma-restory ko na din yan. Again, this has been your host and your friend Risha. Know that I'm grateful for you. I have always been. Oh, how it feels surreal to tell that again for the nth time. But yeah, I feel grateful that you're here. And please know above anything else that I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you big time. I'll see you again next Monday. Don't forget to always keep moving. Bye!